Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan, and we're here to hopefully enlighten you in the world of sports today. I don't know, it's a pretty dreary day outside, so.
And we have to talk really fast because we only have until 1:45 to get the show done because you got an interview. So here comes Caribou, right
Yep.
down Caribou Lane.
There we go. So there's our unofficial sponsor
That's her. So
of our show.
got that
So
out of the way.
that's done.
So
That's good.
talk fast.
I don't have to talk that fast, but.
Hey, surprising story. Former coach from the Hibbing High School is now over in Chisholm coaching.
Yeah, he's gonna be the assistant coach to Nick Milani at Chisholm High School boys basketball. So.
That's Coach McDonald.
Yes, Coach McDonald. Didn't take him long to get back into it.
court. Yeah, and his son's
So-
coaching in Duluth.
Yes, he's
Heard.
with Duluth East with the freshmen, and basketball runs in the family.
Yep. It's getting to be that time of year again. We got, the winter sports are starting. And the girls hockey and boys hockey, wrestling. We just approved the hiring of a girls or women's, I'm not sure what the right way to pronounce or say it, wrestling coach. Girls?
Oh, girls wrestling coach.
Well, you got to be careful. It could be she wrestling coach or female wrestling coach or
Well, no, I've
women's wrestling coach.
yeah, I never even, boy, you snuck that one by me there. When did you tell me that they were ever having a?
They have, we were told last night, I guess, Ron, you could remind, I think they said they had 12 girls now that are interested in participating in the girls wrestling program, and that, is it Augsburg?
Yeah, probably.
Augsburg has a actual varsity women's wrestling program. So now we got girls wrestling.
Who's the coach?
One of them is Miss Platt.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
because her dad is the boys'
assistant
assistant
coach.
wrestler.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
And I can't remember the name of the other young lady that was hired, but yeah. So
Huh?
we got wrestling at girls wrestling.
Well, I gotta.
You'll have to
get
cover
on
that
the-
one.
Yeah, I'll have to cover and get on the ball there and do some interviews for that too. So, well, that's interesting. I mean, it has been becoming a bigger attraction sport for the last 3 or 4 years. So,
Well, my understanding, again, there was a young girl that wrestled for Hibbing last year, and now she is down at Augsburg. So
well, it's probably Kaya Rybacek.
that's who it is. Yep.
Yeah, she's done pretty well for herself
Yep.
in the world of girls wrestling. So, yeah, no, well, it's.
It'll be the next Olympic event.
Well, and you know what? It doesn't really. That won't take away, I don't think, from any of the other sports.
No.
So it's that's a good sport to add because some sports just take away from others, and we won't mention what it is. But
Yeah. Well, that we've talked about it. Is we don't have enough students to facilitate the number of sports that we have at Hibbing High School. It's just the numbers just aren't there.
yeah,
So,
Well-
we already lost the Nordic team. Is that correct?
yeah, they were a club. I know they were a club team. I think 2 or 3 years ago, and then last year it just vanished.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's coming back, but it doesn't sound like it.
Wow.
So.
Anyways, what else going on?
Well, the only other thing going on now in the fall is the swimming sections. The prelims are tonight, 5 o'clock at the high school pool. This will be the pre-meet, obviously prelims. It says pre-meet, but the top 16 swimmers in each event will advance to Saturday's finals. And then the girls swimming in the top 8 will, I believe, the top 2 advance to state.
Oh, nice.
And if you get the standard qualifying time, you can advance as well. So
So both events are at the Hibbing pool?
at the Hibbing pool. So it's going to be an interesting, I mean, tonight's going to be like chaos in there because there's going to be, everybody's going to be there. And, then they finally whittle it down to the top 16. So there won't be as many girls on the pool deck on Saturday. But that's the most exciting time of the meet because they're the meet, I guess, because it's determines who goes to state.
Right.
So.
Wow. Now, does that include diving? The girls have diving?
Yeah, the diving prelims are Saturday morning. They'll do their first 8 dives. And they'll cut down to 16, and then during the middle of the meet, they'll do their finals, I
Wow.
believe.
That makes
So-
for a long day.
Oh yeah, no, and I used to do the public address, and the keywords they're used to, I just couldn't this year because of some unforeseen circumstances. But it's a lot of work for the public address guy, and I hate to say it, but I'm kind of glad I'm not, because it takes something off my plate, and I'm not rushed and stressed and all that stuff. I mean, I love doing it. I want to say that first, but it's kind of nice not being able to being rushed like that. Plus, like the finals are at 3:00 on Saturday, so we have a 5:30 deadline, so that's not getting
Yeah.
in the paper. But now, if everybody doesn't realize it, we don't have a Sunday paper anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So everything we do from Saturday on we're gonna have an e-edition on Sunday or for Monday. So everything we do on the weekend, including the Vikings game on Sunday, we'll all get in the e-edition
E-tab.
for Monday. So now we got to work Sunday again, which I don't know if I like that very well, but that's the way it goes.
Well, there's not too many events on Sunday, is there?
No, I never
for the-
have to
except for the
cover
pros?
anything. The only times I really work on a Sunday is when the Last Chance
Oh, okay.
is in town, and
Right.
then the Labor Day shootout.
Yeah. Well, those are two things you enjoy.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I don't like working on Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm not.
just get to church early and then go from there.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. But yeah, so yeah, that's going to be different. I still quite haven't figured out what we're going to do yet, but we got that new system, InDesign system, where you send a page. Before you'd send the page down to Princeton, and you actually saw it go in the folder, so you knew it was there.
Yep.
This one, you hit a couple buttons and it
You don't know.
supposedly sends it there, but you don't have any really hard proof that it's there.
Oh. Well, modern technology.
Yeah, it's really different, but it's fun. It's also fun, but
Yeah. Whatever happened to stop the press? We got a hot story.
well, actually, I did that one day. I had jumped the same story twice,
Oh, okay.
and once I figured it out, it was 9:00 in the evening. So I called down to the press room, or the press print plant, and I said, "Are we on the press yet?" And she goes, "I think they're just starting to do it." I go, "Well, I got a big mistake here. I had it all corrected, and I had it sent." So she had to actually go in there and
Stop the press.
yeah. So I don't know if they stopped the presses, but we got it all figured out, and this story wasn't jumped twice in the paper.
Good.
So it happens, and that's the way it goes.
Good.
But yeah, but that swimming, that's the only thing.
At the high school.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned you're doing a story with the Hibbing, or no, not Hibbing, Northland, what is it called? Northland College?
Oh, Minnesota North.
Minnesota
yeah,
North,
I have an
yeah.
interview with their coach today because they start their season, I
Yes.
believe, tomorrow.
Basketball coach.
Yeah. And they go down to Iowa, which I believe they're playing 2 Division I junior college teams.
Well, hopefully they can get to Iowa.
Well, yeah.
If it starts to snow, we're in.
Yeah. Well,
sledding.
Mountain Iron had their football game moved from today to tomorrow because of this.
Oh, okay.
They were supposed to play today at 5:00 out in Moorhead, and they're getting it. They had it moved to 5:00 Friday in Moorhead. So,
That give them time to clean the snow off the football field, huh?
well, even to get out there, but it's not supposed to be any better Friday, I don't
No.
think.
No.
So, how they handle that. But I do believe the football state tournament's been pushed back a week. I don't think it's on the Friday and Saturday after
really?
Thanksgiving. I believe it's been pushed back to.
Because of weather?
No, I don't know.
They're
I don't
in-
exactly know why, but I don't take me verbatim or quote me on that, but I remember hearing something like that they were
Wow.
just pushing it back a
Maybe
week.
it's a scheduling thing with the U.S. Bank Stadium, because that's where they play, correct?
Well, yeah, because I do believe the Vikings have a home game
Okay.
Thanksgiving night, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that's
that's
why.
probably why. Yeah.
Well, we know where the power lies there. The old NFL.
Yeah. Not for long.
Not for long.
But so that kind of puts a crimp in winter sports.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're playing in the state finals, I guess you'll take that
Yeah, you can
sacrifice over
adjust,
starting
yeah.
basketball or hockey whenever you need to, whenever they start, which is coming up.
Yeah. So basketball starts this week, correct? Or
Girls basketball will start Monday, I'm pretty sure, maybe along with wrestling. Boys basketball starts the 21st, I believe, and then boys hockey will start Monday.
Yep.
And then the last week, Monday in November, or the last after Thanksgiving, and boys swimming will start. So they're all going to be up and running here.
Any insight on how we're looking? Like for let's take boys hockey.
Well, the players I've talked to say they should be decent.
Okay.
Now, does that mean we're going to state? No, I'm not going that far.
Yeah. Well, their Pee Wee team won the state championship last year, correct? But
Well, that was the year before,
the younger
but
kids.
yeah, I mean it's those kids, and they had a decent bantam. Some of them went to state in bantams, and they went to state again in Pee Wees. So, but they're not ready to come up yet. But
Right.
yeah, I know that's what I've heard. They're going to be decent. So
good.
they got a couple goaltenders now that are going to be. I know Braden Boyer was their main goalie last year, and he's a very good goaltender. But I hear they got a couple younger kids that are that hopefully will be. I hope they push him. I mean, because a competition at spots is
Oh, yeah.
good.
Yep.
You can't just cruise right along without having any.
Well, look at the Wild.
Well, yeah. Well,
They won last night,
yeah. They did. They finally scored a goal.
and they outlawed that one goal for the Ducks, where the kid came around the net, got it up on his stick, and then slapped it in. Really neat looking goal.
Yeah, but I don't know why the Wild don't try that once in a while.
Yeah. Well. they-
Was the puck too high or?
No, it was offside.
Oh,
They
that's.
reviewed it, and it was offside. But anyways, back to the high school.
I mean, boys basketball is going to be. I don't know. I mean, they lost a lot of players over the last 2 years, so there's going to be a lot of younger guys
Yep.
going to have to take major roles on that team. So.
And it wasn't that a lot of players graduated. A couple of their players just moved on to a different school.
Well, yeah. Well, one of them did for
Yep.
sure. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, it should be interesting. I mean, is there going to be a rebuilding for Coach Ani?
It probably will be.
Okay.
But he's, from if these players go out, I mean, Dane Mamengay, I saw him yesterday. He's got to be 6'4", 6'5" right now. He's very athletic.
Yep.
He's going to have to pick up the brunt of the scoring, I would imagine. And they had some decent guards. I mean, that can handle the ball, and I mean nothing Aiden-like, but
Right.
they should be okay, I would think. Who knows? But they're not playing an easy schedule either. I mean, they're not like dropping these AAA and 4A teams and going down and playing single A and double A teams.
I assume they're playing off a schedule that was made probably a year or two ago. I mean, it
Well,
just
I don't know. According to Coach Ani yesterday, that the scheduling process has been, how do I put it nicely,
this
as
is-
smooth as it should be.
okay.
Because they were still adding a game. They were still had to add games.
Yeah, they have to play so many games
Yeah.
in order to participate in any tournament, correct?
Well,
Tournament?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know that for a
Okay.
fact, but they had one team, Southwest Christian or something, wanted to come up for their holiday tournament, but I don't know if they can play only in 2 games or in all 3 games.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of an issue when you're making a draw up for an 8-team tournament. And
Well, hopefully they'll have enough teams come up for a tournament.
well, it sounds like it's a goal, so that's good. I mean, it'll be teams we never see, which is fun. When you don't see a team like I can't remember which team exactly. I thought he said Southwest Christian, but I know they were from the southwest part
Okay.
of the state.
Because last year wasn't Henry Minneapolis Henry.
Yeah, they
teams that
brought
came up?
one of those teams up. Yeah, they brought that team up here, and they obviously, I mean, you know, the way COVID took things out, I mean, it was hard for all teams
Yep.
to travel, which was kind of unfortunate. But yeah, so hopefully he has some different teams in there, and
Well, it's just good that they're able to continue the holiday tournament that Coach McDonald started, and they can continue on with that. It's a good draw for them too.
mhm. Well, and I think back to scheduling, it's just a lack of communication and who talked to who
Oh.
when.
Yeah,
And then that person never relayed it back to maybe the AD, and everything got mixed up.
Right.
And I'm not saying, I think that's what happened. I'm not positive, but
and I can imagine it's got to be pretty tough for a Minneapolis team or a Southern Minnesota team to come up to Hibbing to play. You got lodging and feed them and play games and keep an eye on them.
well, if I'm not mistaken, I think the lodging gets paid for by maybe the basketball club.
The hoop club.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not positive on that again, obviously, but I thought I heard Joel say that one year that
Okay.
they might take care of that for them, but
Well, it'd be kind of neat to have that deal where the players open their homes to some of these guys. They get an opportunity to meet and hang out with them. I know Valentini's Supper Club usually does a meal for the visiting teams also. So, yeah, it's a nice tournament, real nice tournament. So hopefully, and best of luck to Coach Ani.
Ani.
We got the Milani, got the Ani, got the Hani, got Madani. So, good luck to them. And on the other hand, it would be kind of nice to see Chisholm come over and play here too.
Well, I talked to Coach Milani yesterday for a story I'm doing on him, but getting a job, and he told me he'd like to play Hibbing again,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, like I told him, I said it doesn't do them any good to play a Class A team.
It's not I don't think it's a Class A, Class 3D, or whatever.
Well,
the
for
hell we are.
QRF though it is.
Yeah, but still, I remember the days when Coach McDonald, Bob Senior, was playing and against a young Joel McDonald, and they used to fill the place.
Oh yeah, I know. That would be a good one to get back.
So,
But it would be, I don't know what the logistics would be to get it back like that. But he would love to play, Nick would love to play Hibbing again. So to get that, hopefully that rivalry going
Yeah.
a little bit again.
well, hockey, we pretty much, like you said, they're starting Monday. So,
Yeah, we'll find out about them. Girls hockey has scrimmages this weekend at the Memorial Arena. I don't know what teams are there, but it's going to be all Saturday, Friday from like 3 o'clock on, and then Saturday from like 8 in the morning or so, all the way through the day.
Good.
And so they'll get their work in, and then they start next Tuesday. They travel to Virginia to play Rock Ridge. So,
I heard on the radio that Rock Ridge is looking for someone to write a school song.
yeah,
There you go.
well, that won't be me, but I'm not a composer. But somebody's
Well, it's only 4-letter words. Ridge.
Ridge. That's 5. as far
See,
as
I got ya.
yeah, well,
Stop the presses.
but rock is only 4, but Ridge is 5, I think.
Well, it could be just rock, rock, rock.
Yeah. Girls basketball, I don't know.
Who's coaching this year?
Chris Hansen.
Again? Okay.
And I know they have Reese Ani's back, and I believe Emma Kivela's back, and I can't think of her name. Tiffany, I believe, is back, and so they have some returners.
Good.
Davis missed a lot of last year, though. She had a knee injury, so hopefully she'll stay healthy and
Yep.
can play out her senior year. But it'll be iffy there. I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch. There's Miriam Milani and Emery Mackey. He'll have to wait. Mackey has to wait until she's done with swimming before she can get back there. And I'm sure she'll go to the state, so it'll be another
Yeah.
week and a half or so until she gets back. Girls cross country, we haven't talked about that yet because they went to the state and competed at the state meet last Saturday, and they ended up 9th, 4 points behind Rock Ridge, I think, which took 6th.
Okay.
So, and some runner, they had a decent showing. I think they accomplished some of the goals they wanted to set for down there, but then some of the girls, obviously running's a totally different animal. You might not have a good day. And
Right.
if they had, I think if they would have had one more runner step up a little bit, they could have made up some ground. But that was good for them. Team's all back next year. So,
Should be interesting. Well, again, as you mentioned, Virginia or Rock, whatever they're called. What are they?
Rock Ridge.
Rock Ridge will be, I'm sure, the predominant favor next year again.
Well, well, we actually beat them in the section, but yeah, they have 3 very good lead runners. But the problem, well, I don't know if it was a problem, but they had 3 runners in before we had 2 runners in. But then we had our 2nd through 7th runners came in before their 4th and 5th runners.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want a positive, that's the positive.
Yeah.
But now you got to find somewhere in between there to get somebody else up in the mix to catch one of those 3 girls.
You lost me at hello.
Yeah.
4th and 5th. 2nd,
Well,
7th.
but the 5 runners count for score.
Yep.
And we did get all 7. We got 7 of our runners in before they got their 4th, or before they got their 4th and 5th runners in.
Oh.
So we did that, but those other 3 kind of made up for it. And the Rock Ridge boys took 2nd at state by a point or 2 points.
Oh, wow.
And Cameron Stocky, who was very good, finished 2nd over individually. But now, see, they're losing
A few of
4
their
or
kids.
5 seniors. So now we'll see, how they shake out next year. And, once you get a success like that, kids work hard.
Yeah. Well,
So,
the success that the girls program has had over the years. I mean, winning breeds success, right?
that's right.
So,
It helps.
yeah. Well, we've covered the high school, we covered the college. Do you want to talk sports now?
Well, yeah, let's. There's
sports.
only really one team to talk about, and it's really the Timberwolves and
Ooh, they're kind of,
how awful they've been.
yeah.
And did you know last night they won a whole series with 4 guys on the court?
Yes, because one guy forgot to check in.
So
Well, they're not
where is that issue? I mean, whose fault is that?
Well, I'm sure the head coach is going to point the finger at the assistant coach who's supposed to make sure people go in and out. But, someone made a comment last night. Ever since they brought Rudy Gobert, and that they're not playing all that well. But how can you blame one guy? I mean, he's won a couple games for him.
He's doing it. He's doing what he needs to do.
Not only the cat, isn't having that great of a year yet.
Well, that was the talk on KFAN this morning, was trading him and getting
really?
rid of him.
Oh,
Because he just doesn't. He's a great player. Can't take his ability away from him, but he complains
he whines all the
and
time.
whines too much.
Yep.
And sometimes I can't blame him because I think the officiating in the NBA is awful.
Oh,
I mean, so
it's not awful; it's atrocious.
well, thank you for making the better word.
Yeah.
So and they don't. But when you're complaining all the time, you're probably not going to get calls.
No.
So he's got to learn to control his emotions. Not that he needs me to tell him this, and he'll never hear this probably, but if he does, Cat, control your emotions. Just go out and play the way you're capable of playing.
Yeah. Well, he's probably sitting down at the Timberwolf locker room going, "Who's that Gary Giambetti? Where's he mean? I've got to stop complaining."
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
Well, the other thing can be said about the Wild and Kaprizov the other night against the Kings, where he's getting totally molested by Drew Doughty.
Yeah.
And he turns around and finally has had enough and cranks him in the chin, and he gets a match penalty.
Yeah.
When Doughty probably should have been in the penalty box to begin with, and then Doughty's waving goodbye to him as he's. I don't like Drew Doughty. I don't even know the guy, but he should retire.
Well, he did his job though.
Well, he agitated enough to get Kaprizov out of the game, so congratulations, Drew, on doing that.
But the Wild won. Segue into it. The Wild won last night, 4-1 against the Ducks. But again, their season has been so up and down that there's no consistency, there's no steady play, and they have the players. I
No,
mean,
well, half of them, well, not half of them, but 4 of them are hurt.
yeah,
You know, Greenway didn't play last night, but he did play against the Kings, so at least he's on his way back.
yeah,
But then you got Hartman and Duhame and I believe Foligno are still out. And, you know, that's,
and that's the 3 enforcers they have, isn't it?
well, that's the bigger guys. I
Yeah.
mean, when you get Greenway, Foligno, and Eck on that line, it's a very good line.
Yeah.
And they haven't had that continuity yet this year. So hopefully hopefully their injuries are healing and they get back and
Yep.
play a wild hockey. But again, the Wolves, I don't know. I had them making the playoffs in a column, and I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs.
They have the bench. They have the bench players. Their starting 5 is the ones that are getting, and they get down 20, 30 points, and then you put the reserves in, and you expect them to bring you back.
Well, they have brought them back, but not enough.
No.
So yeah, I don't know. It's all about playing hard.
Yep. And then
Play with-
losing at home. That's
Well, yeah, and then plus Phoenix had a couple guys out last night
yeah.
that hurt them the last time they played them down in Phoenix, and they just, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, like you said, that's probably about the time you start in the NBA. Trade time is every day.
Well,
There's no set trade period.
you
is
can't.
there?
I can't see them trade. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That they're going to trade one of their franchise players. He's got that max contract. I don't know how easy they are to trade. But
Yeah. Well, they're talking about trading LeBron now. This
No.
morning.
Well, that might be probably the best fit for the Lakers would probably be to get
Yeah.
rid of him.
You're getting to be too old.
I hate to
play.
say get rid of him, but
Well, I don't. Well, if you get traded and you're making $60 million a year, I don't really feel too sorry for
no,
him.
no. So Vikings 7-1. We only got a couple minutes
Yep.
here. Play Buffalo. Might be without Josh Allen. So
And-
we'll see what happens.
And Case Keenum,
Keenum, Case Keenum, and
is their backup
Stephon
quarterback,
Diggs.
and Stephon. Yeah.
So that'll be interesting on Sunday if that's the matchup.
Yeah. What's nice is that they're hard to watch because it's so you don't know if they're going to blow it at the end or not. But what happened to them last year is just a reverse of what's going on this year. So they're able to win the close games. So hopefully they continue.
Yeah, it's a far cry from last year, so and it's kind of fun.
But you know what's going to happen. They're going to make the playoffs. Everybody's hopes are going to get up, and it's going to be
Yeah.
here we go again.
Yeah.
Same old, same old. So.
Well, all right. We're done with another show. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again next week.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.